Hello everyone, and in today's video we're going to be reacting to Brian react to the Murder of Birds, which I have seen the thumbnail for. It's the Heavenly Principles one, which is the missing piece of the Heavenly Principles. And the reason why I'm not watching, I'm recording Brian's reaction to it, is because I don't really feel like making like an hour-long video than watching his hour-long video. That's a lot of time, so I just get it done in one go, pretty much. So that's usually why I watch Brian's reactions, and plus I'd like to get his insights and stuff as well. That's bad. I don't know. I just like to do things all in one go sometimes.
Murder of Birds actually reached out to me to watch this video.
Oh!
And this video is the missing piece of the Heavenly Principles with a thumbnail pointing to Paimon. And Arnold
no,
is in chat right now
seriously.
for any questions, which I'm sure I am going to have a lot of.
Oh, he's in chat.
This is one of my first times watching fully Murder of Birds Theory, bro. I'm looking forward to it. All right, let's go.
I think I've watched some of his things before.
The existence of the world and its inhabitants takes priority over protecting Sumeru.
Yep.
Wow.
I mean, that definitely makes sense.
Heavenly principles preserving
this is his
world
analysis.
means more than preserving one nation. This isn't
Well, I think makes sense, right?
the first time this has happened.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense.
Nahid is basically saying we're on our own because the heavenly principles looks out for the needs of the many over the needs of the few. And when you compare the worlds, it's like long gone. Like long gone, Conria, it's like if you're just a nation.
Destroy one nation for the sake of the whole of the world. Which was Conria.
You'll rise and you'll fall in your own time, but you can't replace the world. You can replace the nations and the people. It's a very cold calculation.
See, one more nail. I'm telling you, this nail is going to be shot down in Chesnaya when we're in it. I'm just saying, that's my theory for Chesnaya. We're going to get hit by a nail, or this nail's going to come down and the Traveler's going to stop it. Either one, but I do think this nail will be cast down in the 7.x patch line.
Calculated perspective and mindset. It's very.
But
I said
it
that
also
for
lines
months.
up with everything that we've currently been going through as well, right? Especially with Lumine, and when I say Lumine, I mean the Abyss sibling, just as a heads up. And also with the Loom of Fae and reweaving the and restoring old Comriard and new Comriard, everything like that. You can preserve the people.
God, that's gonna be crazy
when
we get to 8.0.
Very rooted in logic, and that's just how they operate, unfortunately. And that's probably why they're like an AI construct computer like system that doesn't have empathy or emotions. I'm gonna mention this right now because my video still isn't out yet. Chat, I want to share a theory with you guys that I've been cooking up for a while. It's gonna be like a part 2 video to a theory that I did at the end of the Act 8 Archon quest. I want to say it before Hoyoverse confirms anything by the end.
Ghost Rider allegations about to be confirmed?
Question mark? Because I don't know what they're going to talk about, if they're going to talk more about the heavenly principles or the spaceship or whatever the case might be. I mean no exaggeration when I say this, okay? I mean this with every fiber of my being. I promise you, I'm not memeing.
Okay.
Aloy is like
what?
the most...
Is that why person is up now?
Where is this going, Arnold? Where is this going?
Aloy?
I promise you,
Don't
I'm not
laugh.
memeing.
Sorry, hold on.
Aloy is like the most important character in this game.
Is it because like she's like came from a different world type thing? And if so, I mean, I guess so. In that sense,
I will not laugh.
And if you've played Horizon Zero Dawn,
I have.
you'll probably know why.
I don't.
I'm not joking. No LMAOs. I'm being dead ass. Okay, and the reason now, let me cook.
Yeah,
let
okay.
me elaborate.
We needed to cook here.
Myself.
Just
really
because I
need
find
to.
it funny right now does not mean that when you cook, I will not enjoy a fine dining 3-course meal. By the way,
actually, you know what? I'm just gonna tell you guys the whole theory right now. I feel like I can do a much better job, like saying it off the cuff. This might be a separate video from this one, but like Aloy is the most important character in Genshin Impact. That's my opening statement. All right. Now, some of you guys, chat's already roasting me. They're like, Arnold, who let bro cook? Get out of here, bro. You fell off.
It has to be because she's from a different world,
I'm not
right?
going that far, but it is kind of funny.
I swear to God, all right? I know myself. I know.
Bro, imagine she comes part of the main story.
I can perceive. I feel like I know what's gonna happen. I feel like I know where we're going here.
September 1st. What was it? September 1st, 2021.
Where we're going.
One year to
This
go.
is a follow-up to the theory video that I made back during Act 8 of the Nodcry Archon quest when we learned about the spaceship and we got the lore from the Travelers outfits regarding the potential AI construct of the spaceship looking for a world for the Travelers, and basically stumbling upon Teyvat and cultivating, terraforming it, and using it as an arc for this genetic vault of humanity. In that video, we basically came to the conclusion that it seems like the Heavenly Principles is, in some way, shape, or form, some type of artificial supercomputer AI construct of our spaceship that landed onto that while our spaceship was flying through the universes. And in the meantime, while we were flying out in space, they were cultivating, controlling, seizing control of
getting the data, terraforming
that from the dragons, and reshaping it and terraforming it, not just for humanity, but for the twins' inevitable return onto that. So
wait, why is everyone say wait? Oh shit! I feel like this was the conclusion, right? Like this.
Yeah, I mean, this is what like everyone was thinking. That it was like,
for sure. But this was kind of what I don't want to say grand consensus was, but I'm not discrediting that original theory, by the way, at all. Because listen, without the theories, most people wouldn't even think about that. But when people had watched the theories and listened to the theories and stuff, that's what made the most sense.
Maybe they can be the new rulers. And then we started talking about Paimon. And something that I failed to mention in that video that I was cooking up for this theory is that Paimon is an anomaly in and of herself. There's only one of her. They're setting up so much foreshadowing of like who she is.
She looks like Derby.
Asmodee's freaking sister or segment. At least, like, when I say segment, I mean like the 3 deadly cells, soul split kind of thing.
Identity, her memories. Is Paimon just Paimon? Is she emergency food? Are we going to end up devouring her like Nibirius got devoured by Rhindaughter? Is there more to her in regards to the Heavenly Principles? Kukulkan referred to her as a celestial envoy. You got characters like Canotilla the Melody saying that Paimon
this one definitely always break up.
Rainbow freaking string going all the way up to the heavens, implying there's a lot of connections with Paimon and Celestia. Now, one distinction that I wanted to make is the difference between
I think I saw this.
Perceive the
I think I saw this like a while ago. I actually completely forgot about this. But I actually totally forgot about seeing this. But I do remember seeing this at one point. Yeah, this is crazy. Actually crazy.
Principles and how we perceive Paimon, because one
Paimon is Phaedes
theory I have to find, I don't know where I said it in the video, but I remember mentioning how I was like, guys, I wonder if Paimon is like the Heavenly Principles Guobified, and like the shades don't disturb the Heavenly Principles because they're sleeping, but like maybe after the War of Vengeance they got so damaged in that fight with Dragon King Nibelung that they got like, reverted down into like Paimon, and they like fell out of Celestia and they landed in the water, and then that's how the Traveler found them.
Yep.
But I literally...
But the thing is, I feel like if it went from like an adult form to like a child form, I mean, it's still like an androgynous being, right? So, but Paimon's just a girl through and through. I feel like, I would guess. I mean, from her voice, I guess from how she acts. She doesn't feel like masculine in any shape or form. So I don't know unless it's just something happened, but I don't know.
Guys, I mean this so fucking much. Every single thing, I feel like every single thing that has happened in this game has been by a specific design.
Of course it has. No, I 1,000,000,000% agree with this. Listen, a lot of people
will
give Genshin a lot of criticism when it comes to certain things that they do when telling the story, right? And a lot of that criticism is good criticism. I do feel like they could always show a little bit more and show things in a bit of a better way. They've been doing a bang
and voice word
quest, by the way. I have basically no complaints. But there's one thing that does annoy me a lot, and it's people that literally just say the Genshin story is bad. I'm very sorry here, but by design, no, it's not. It's a very subjective opinion, of course. You can never say it's just good.
They probably hate the storytelling.
Bad, but people that say it's poorly written are just wrong. Like, that is just an incorrect opinion. It is not poorly written. The story goes so deep, it has been going on for so many years. Things that were written about in 1.0 are just coming to light in freaking 6. Like, it is one of the most intricate stories woven, bro. It just is. Whether you like it,
and obviously they have all the other games that I don't know if Genshin like integrates to them, but they also have like HSR, Honkai Impact, probably Honkai Anima. I don't know what the fuck that game's gonna be. I don't know how that's gonna tie into the lore, but they all woven together. So
hate it, love it, or hate it. That is such a hard
Honkai
fact to
Gaku,
deny, dude.
Is involved in this design. Paimon's
all
involved in
love
this
it.
design, and it's all in regards to the Traveler. So my theory, as it stands right now,
I mean,
and
the
I'm gonna tie
Traveler's
this all
main
back-
emblem kind of
regards-
looks like the Aspidate thing, I guess. I don't know though. And I guess here as well. I guess here as well.
to the Traveler.
And here.
So my theory, as it stands right now, and I'm gonna tie this all back. I'm
Sorry, every time she comes on screen,
Oh, is it these? No. The symbol, the stars.
okay, okay.
I'm cooking right now. I'm gonna set this all up, and it's gonna tie all
Did
back
Aspidate
in
bring her here?
with Aloy specifically.
All right, let's do
I
it.
think Paimon is the idea association module. So if you go back and you read the outfit lore, it mentions while the AI construct was looking for worlds, they detached their AI association module. And they
Okay.
basically were like, okay, I can't be thinking about the fantastical possibilities. I need to be logic focused. I need to be
So okay, so you think that Paimon is that was detached? See, I assumed it was something in a pod that fit in the center here, but maybe that's
Oh.
the design of the ship, I guess.
But maybe it was Pi with a little C.
ghost.
no.
I need to be reason.
also be
and I
Paimon
have
in the
to
pod.
think with a logic.
Oh my god. That's a tick. I didn't. I did pre-watch.
Rationale
pre-watch,
when it
okay?
comes to preserving
it.
the life that I have on my spaceship, maintaining that life for the future, and making sure that nothing happens to us once we find a world that we want. I think somehow, some way, I can't explain it, I think Paimon is the identity of the heavenly principles, where the heavenly principles is the reason and the logic, and Paimon is the emotion of the heavenly principles.
Oh,
Because
she is
they're
very
separated,
emotional.
The heavenly principles.
She is very
of the
emotional.
heavenly principles.
Law
and because they're
abides no
separated,
reason.
the heavenly principles is this heartless, cold, ruthless appearing dictate. Like,
And the
almost-
reason why it's because it's emotional. Like its emotions have been split off into Paimon. That's why it's so cold.
it's kind of like
Okay.
dictator that rules to that with the mindset of
No influence of emotions in the ruling. Okay.
yeah, but the numbers and the stats and the statistics say this, therefore it's the better choice.
Okay.
And they lack any type of empathy, emotion,
'Cause it's
and
Paimon.
reason to
It's split
consider
off.
the
I see.
suffering of humanity, the suffering
I
of
think.
the angels, the suffering of Conria, and to find some kind of middle ground, even when it comes to their earliest civilization, like with Long Gone and Zabai. They're like, well, the Abyss is going to kill you anyway. Better your nation than the rest of the world.
So you said something down here, which was this can also explain what Paimon's simple-mindedness due to her separation from the Heavenly Principles logic. Since you're in chat, it's gonna be so nice to just pick your brain live when I can get your actual response
That is
here.
pretty
I do
good.
like that. I actually really like that idea. I do. If Paimon was solely
I said
the
Paimon's got a dented.
idea association module, and she is
She got one
detached
IQ
from logic
from-
and reason, though.
But the main heavenly principle's body went from like 200 IQ to 199, and Paimon's at 1 IQ, bro.
Would you think she would still be able to show as much emotion as she is detached from logic and reason, though? Would you think she would still be able to show as much emotion as she does? I feel like she still shows a lot of emotion, especially panic. over,
Because I
like,
guess she also understands as
the
well.
Traveler and stuff.
It has,
Maybe
I guess she would have some
logic
logic. She would have some logic, right? I would guess.
because she was. The idea association module was separated from the ship AI. Paimon is also terrified of being separated from ether. Paimon is the emotion. Okay, so you're saying she is the emotion separated from logic and reason. She would be the embodiment of emotion. Idea association correlates to emotion. Okay. So you said idea association correlates to emotion. Okay. See, this is why it's good to have you here live. Let me go back here a little bit and just listen to this part again.
Stats and the statistics say this, therefore it
Sorry.
dictates, like almost kind of like this cold. They're separated. The heavenly principles is this heartless, cold, ruthless appearing like almost
Yeah.
kind of like dictator
That sounds a bit like the Sarita.
that rules to that with the
Oh, yeah,
mindset
that is
of,
exactly
yeah,
how I
but
described
the
the
numbers
Sarita.
and the stats and the
statistics.
statistics say this, therefore it's the better choice, and they lack any type of empathy, emotion,
Okay.
and reason to consider the suffering of humanity.
Oh, so something like what Fossil was doing for it. No. Oh, kind of. Well, yeah, I guess kind of in a different way because Farina was the human. No, Farina was the human that Focalor wanted to be. Farina was just a creation, not derived. Farina wasn't ever a part of Focalor at all. I don't think, right? Farina was created for because that's what Focalor wished she was, a human. She wanted to see what it was like to be a human. Or experience life as a human, but she couldn't, so she made Farina. I think, right?
Okay.
And reason to consider the suffering of humanity, the suffering of the angels, the suffering of Conria, and
well, they would still have the reason, right? The logic and reason, just not the emotion.
To find some kind of middle ground.
It might be wrong reasoning, or I guess immoral
controversial
reasoning.
Even when it comes to their earliest civilization, like with Long Gone and Sabai.
Okay, I get it now.
Well,
I get it now.
The Abyss is gonna kill you anyway. Better your nation than the rest of the world. So the Heavenly Principles is rooted in logic. And they lack emotion. Where is their emotion?
Okay.
Their emotion, somehow, some way, they detached. And then it
just fell into the sea.
On a life of its own, I'm assuming. Now,
I just grabbed the emotion button, just threw it.
I want to double up on this as well, because
Chat, I don't even think I got this far in the video, right? So I don't think I misheard. I just think I didn't let it play long enough.
It took on a life of its own, I'm assuming.
Hold on.
Now, I want to double up on this as well, because I'm trying to paint a coherent picture. Let's just say the Heavenly Principles arrives in Teyvat. They seize the world from the dragons. They wipe out the dragons. They re-terraform the world.
Mini Harrigan.
Nibelung comes back. The War of Vengeance is initiated. Nibelung dies, but before he dies, he deals a super heavy forbidden knowledge damage to the Heavenly Principles. Bam. And here's another thing, too. Shout out to Hoyoverse and shout out to Nouvelette's character story lore when they said...
Yeah, the character story is great, but I think they did do it with this skin, bro. I didn't even get the skin, but, like, I'm sorry.
I think it looks weird because... Arnold's screen is like kind of squished, right? I've always noticed that. I wonder why he keeps it like that. I've always wondered why he keeps it like that, where it's kind of squished. It's like, I've always wondered that. I still watch some of his videos, but it's like, I've always wondered why he kept it like that, or like, yeah, had it was a little bit shorter down, had the chat go a little bit more down. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah, it looks weird because it's squished. But I think this skin looked good, but maybe I'm going crazy. I've never seen it. I've never seen it in game properly.
I prefer his OG skin. I feel like his skin could have just looked a little bit different. It just makes his head look weird and his legs. I don't know. He just looks off.
And severely wounded.
I think is he saying that it's too basic, top and bottom, but detailed on the side in the middle. I guess I could see that. Like your attention is like the middle part of it, like his shirt and coat and stuff, pops massively, and then everything else is kind of just like there, I guess. Maybe.
In the War of Vengeance, the usurper had their functions ruined. Functions specifically is a very like mechanical, technological term. It's very rooted in technology and computers and stuff like that. So that was like the earliest inkling that the Heavenly Principles is like some type of computer-based entity. That's probably from like a universe or a world that's like super ancient and advanced and is like nothing that Teyvat is. It's like...
What is this from? Is this from Millie Astra? Because these look like mannequins. This is gotta be from Millie Astra, right?
From the perspective of that world, they appear to be a god, like compared to the primitive world of Teyvat with like dragons and like these random civilizations and whatnot. I think it is kind of alluding that the Heavenly Principles come from this computer-like civilization. And you
know what I want to see? The Traveler's Homeland. Bro, I mean, obviously it's destroyed, right? I know it's destroyed. But seeing it in the past, I want to see what the Traveler's Homeland looked like in the past. Bro, if we get to see that, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, that'd be so cool if we get to see it. Because I'm pretty sure it's destroyed, right? It's kind of like Skirk's Homeland. Like, we got to see, like, a glimpse of Skirk's Homeland. A little bit, not too much, to be honest. But, bro, if you get the Travelers, oh my god. That'd be sick, bro. Like, seeing, like... how technologically advanced they were and shit. Oh, that'd be awesome. How, like, modernized it looks. Oh my god, it'd be so cool. Not modernized, but, like, I don't know, just gonna look cool.
They left that world because of the Abyss, and their world was destroyed, and so they took whatever humans, quote-unquote, they had with the twins, and they searched for a new world. During the War of Vengeance, the Heavenly Principles were weakened, and they were like, fuck, my plan's ruined. I was supposed to defeat the dragons, take over the world, give humanity their purpose, and have everything right and perfect for when the spaceship came back and Aether and Lumine could come on the planet and they could rule it and you know, we can all rule it together. But Nibelung bodied the heavenly principles, and so the heavenly principles had to devise a new strategy. The heavenly principles, I feel personally right now that the heavenly principles are corrupted with forbidden knowledge, and they have been sleeping, similar to how like meditates to prevent like erosion. I feel like
what I have to ask you this, Arnold. I have to ask you this. I had the theory literally years ago, and it's the only theory video I've like ever made. I think now listen, I think Dainsleif at the end of the chapter storyline preview trailer saying, show me that you are worthier than I to rescue her. I don't think he's talking about the Abyss sibling. I think he's talking about Asmodee. And I think Asmodee was good, quote unquote, if like from most people. I feel like her entire design was probably very blue before, like what we see in the pure kind of elements, right? And I feel like the red that we see in the cubes and also her arm, like data corruption is forbidden knowledge corruption. And I feel like she's just corrupted. So I really feel like he's talking to the Traveler about Asmodee, and that our end goal is going to be to rescue
I definitely see that.
To make sure the heavenly, to make sure everything is in order again, basically. Whether it's by purifying her or something else, I don't know. But
bro, the freaking videos of purifying her are gonna go crazy. I'm sorry.
What do you think about that? Do you think that she is corrupted and that her original self maybe wasn't this big bad, like, fuck the world kind of, not fuck the world, it's kind of the opposite, but fuck everyone kind of thing, I guess? You feel like it could be Lumine, Paimon, or Asmodee. Oh, interesting. Interesting. But what is Dane's relationship to Asmodee? Well, we don't know fully yet, right? There's still... Hey, listen.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know about
so
Dainsleif.
Much that we don't know about Dainsleif and Kamriar specifically, and there's going to be a whole chapter.
Well, yeah, I was going to say a lot about that.
We've seen time and time again in this game that characters have got relationships with other
bro, Daisy even gonna become playable, which is gonna be insane, bro. Oh my god, the day that comes out is gonna be crazy. I gotta be honest, he could come out like 8.0. Probably like 8.1
in the past that we had no idea about. Like for a long time we had no idea Lumine was working with the frickin' Piero at some point. We had no idea where she landed. There's so much. This is a very progressive story in the sense that new information gets brought to light pretty much every single 6 weeks. After the recent Dormant Port quest, I feel like Asmodee is deeply stricken with apathy at this point, so it at least feels like she's now a shell of her former self. I agree with that, 100%. I do. Definitely. Yes.
Similar to how like meditates to prevent like erosion.
So
the heavenly principles had to devise a new strategy. The heavenly principles, I feel personally right now that the heavenly principles are corrupted with forbidden knowledge, and they have been sleeping, similar to how like meditates to prevent like erosion. I feel like the heavenly principles is in some form of meditation or stasis to prevent the spread of forbidden knowledge. And so currently they're contaminated. They're corrupted, which is why when all of these things are happening,
I guess maybe they're waiting for the Traveler to ascend to Celestia and purify the heavenly principles. Maybe
not waking up, they're not getting involved. It's literally they're incapacitated in their like celestial abode. So here's what I think they did.
Bro, we got to see Celestia so much more detail in the Nicole teaser. That was awesome, bro. That's actually
Heavenly
awesome.
Principles decided, I'm going to create a fate system. I'm going to make all of these teleport waypoints using the technology of my spaceship, so when the Traveler comes back, they're compatible with those. Because I'm weakened and I can no longer protect the world from the Abyss, I'm going to create 7 Gnosis and initiate the Archon War. Through this system, 7 Archons will be appointed to watch over the 7 nations in my absence, and over time, their authority will be inherited by a select few in the form of visions as an additional way for humanity to protect themselves against the Abyss, with the most severe cases being resolved with divine nails. I'm going to make all of the nations utilize the elements, and I'm going to do it in such a way where when the Traveler comes back, they don't have to adapt to visions or a gnosis. They can just instantly tap into that power and use it on their journey. And
I actually really like that theory. But then what? They were just like, oh, and that Aloy character from Horizon.
I forgot it's all about Aloy. I forgot about that.
Cool. Let's bring her as well. So I gotta keep going back to it. Arnold, do you play Arknight's Enfield by chance? Because I have an analogy, but it only makes sense if you play Arknight's Enfield. It'll crescendo with Aloy in a bit. No, I know. Also, no. God damn it. Okay, fair. I was thinking these things work similarly to the factory system in Arknight's Enfield, and it's like the freaking Heavenly Principles, basically, or the ship AI being the AIC, the main tower, which everything originates from. The statues of the seven then being relay towers, where there's plenty of them put about where the main power sources go. And then in Enfield, they have electricity pylons, which is the minor power nodes, which could be teleport waypoints. But it could also resemble, you say, the Gnosis, and then go into, the Divine Thrones being the AIC, or, again, Heavenly Principles, and then go into the Divine Thrones as the relay towers, and then going off of that could be the Gnosis and or the Allergenes, the Visions. It's also very interesting, and I would love you to make a video on this.
About the elements.
I need a compromised, informative piece on Visions at this point, based on everything we know in the game, because now that, especially now, because we know that they are contracts. And when a vision contract is fulfilled, it grants, what is it? Like a little bit of power to the gods or something? It grants something.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. But it's something
I
that
forgot about
people
that.
talk about nowadays. I would love like a full
It's like a
informative
gift
piece on
to the
just
god.
visions and how they work and stuff. Now, it's not even necessarily Ascension to Celestia. It was, like power back to the gods with interest, basically, yeah. I can't remember the exact wording, but it was something like that.
And I think the purpose of the fate system, I'm going to put it in a way that makes a lot more sense, all right? For any of you guys who have seen The Wizard of Oz, think of fate into that. Think of fate like the yellow brick road.
I
You can
have
go
it.
off
Okay.
the beaten path. You can do this. You can do that. But
You're always
you
gonna
have
end up
to
back.
stay on the yellow brick road if you want to make it to the Emerald City and if you want to see the Wizard of Oz.
And if you want to drop a house on your sister.
I think the fate system was created.
Is that happening
Let me
now?
cook. I think the fate system, this yellow brick road system where you can change how the road is, but the road's destination has to stay the same. I think the
Okay.
fate system is created specifically.
Oh, so you could decide where you go on your journey, but it always leads to the same place. So you're always destined to go to the same place, but you can decide how you get there.
For the traveler to be on this fate road, he goes to Mondstadt, he goes to Liyue, Inazuma, Sumeru, Fontaine, and he might be changing how the world is, he might be altering this or that, but the ultimate point of the fate system is for the traveler
Who are
to
you?
reach the heavenly principles.
True. Yeah, this
Point
whole
of the fate system is
wait, is that the person that we saw in that the Battle Pass trailer that we used to get, like cutscene that we used to get? Is that the same person? I remember you got that person on the throne as well. Do we need more information in the whole fucking Battle Pass cutscene? Like, what the fuck was that? I mean, they took that out of the game, but what the fuck was that?
the traveler
Who are
to
you?
reach the heavenly principles.
I want to know who that princess was as well.
How about we explore the area ahead of us later?
But to do that,
God,
how
I never
is
wanna hear
the
that
traveler
again.
going to do that? They're going to end up in Teyvat. They're not going to know anyone. They're not going to know anything. So here's what I think the Heavenly Principles did. They took their idea association module. That idea association module became Paimon, and then they just dropped her into that. This perfect guide lands in the exact spot where the traveler is. And
Okay.
Paimon's goal is to lead the traveler to Celestia. And you're probably asking, well, why is the whole point of that? I think it's because if the heavenly principles
How the
is
fuck does
wounded
this tie
with
back into
forbidden
Aloy?
knowledge, they need to be purified. But you can't just instantly have the traveler just show up there. He's got to go on.
Oh, so you're okay? Yeah, so that was what I said before. Get the traveler. Oh, wait, that's actually what I said before. Get the traveler to the Center Celestia, because that's the whole thing, right? I mean, that's what was one of the big things. To just purify her.
On the journey, he's got to find his way
Heavenly
through.
principles. I mean.
Build tolerance even, right? If the meaning of our journey is to purify the nations of the abyss, not to save the world, but to save Asmodee, show me that you are worthier than I to rescue her, or the AI in general, the heavenly principles, that would also make sense, right? Build up your tolerance, show what you're made of. I guess that is a cool little tidbit. Arnold, curious here. One thing I really liked about Natlan was the little guy quest line, right? And I really enjoyed how the entire little guy quest line felt like little guy was our guide, right? Leading us to the final destination. But right at the end of that journey, the story was flipped on its head when the freaking dragon sage, I forget his name now for some reason, Kukul Khan, that's it, yeah, basically told us, the Traveler, that was not the case. It was actually us, the Traveler, that were guiding Little Guy to his ending place. I'm curious what you think about that possibly paralleling the Traveler and Paimon's journey through Teyvat, and Paimon is not the best guide in all of Teyvat. Want to call on Discord? I'm down.
Oh!
Okay, can you hear me?
Oh,
sweet, I
shit!
can hear you. All right, yeah. Do you think there's a chance that they could be paralleling that?
I don't know if it's necessarily like a parallel to that. I actually think it would be maybe a little bit more appropriate to say that Little Guy's journey is paralleling our journey with Paimon, if that makes sense.
I think that's what I meant.
Oh, okay. Maybe I misinterpreted then.
Or maybe I'm just not looking deep enough. What do you mean by
either
it?
either or. Yeah, I like it's like a region-based one-on-one like companionship journey. Like there was definitely like you said like a twist at the end where it's like, oh wait, this journey is actually going like it's gonna have a potential like bad ending for our Little Guy, and then like with the Flame Lord's blessing and Kukul Khan being like, oh by the way, there's a detonation button that gives you the bad ending.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
I do talk a little bit about like what the end game might be like for Paimon and the Traveler in this video. So
nice. Okay.
So yeah, I was definitely cooking, but yeah, someone in the chat was like, "Hey, you could probably." This is another thing too, just in general. Like I'm terrible at like communicating in text, like or like keyboard. So like if you ask me a question, I'm like, "Oh man, this is gonna take me forever to form my thoughts and respond." So just being able to directly.
I think just talking with someone is so much better than messaging. Oh, I hate messaging, bro. I just want to just say it. I just want to say it to you, not text it.
Answer your questions.
So much easier.
Perfect.
And you can get it in the tone of voice you want to. You can get it. You can explain it in more detail. It's just way better.
I'll drop you a message next time.
It's always way better.
Yeah.
Nice. Sounds good. All right, I will continue the video, and then we'll finally get to your Aloy.
Let me cook. I'm spitting right now.
How is this not like Aloy?
Promise.
All right, catch you soon, man.
All right.
I still don't get how this leads back to Aloy. What I can do is because Aloy comes from a different world, but I don't know.
All right, let's. I can't wait to get to this Aloy part, bro. I
have
really
no
can't.
idea.
Everything's adding up to the chef's kiss moment.
For the truth,
Let's go.
that's on you to find out. If you were told the truth instead of discovering it yourselves,
Durandal.
it would literally blow your minds. I don't know how you'd be after that.
And the Traveler, as they've obviously like mentioned more and more.
God, we're gonna be here again.
The Traveler can.
Like, I'll be honest. I want to go back to Sumeru before the patch happens. But I'm like actually stopping myself. Like, can I also listen to the music and stuff, just get vibing with it? But I'm like, no, I'm gonna leave it until freaking when I do the quest. I'm gonna not go to Sumeru until the quest actually happens, bro. I'm leaving it.
Purify.
I'm leaving, bro.
Obviously, like mentioned more and more ever since Natlan, the Traveler can purify the abyss, and corruption, and potentially forbidden knowledge. So I think the heavenly principles.
Was it discussed that it could not be purify? I guess you're purifying the person, but it's like he's not actually purifying. He's like just absorbing it, right? And I do think it'd be really cool if he is bottling up the abyss, like every time he does it. Will it get to a point where it takes over or he loses control? Because if we get to see him lose control because of all the abyss he's been absorbing and it's too much to handle, holy fuck, that'd be awesome, bro. That would be awesome. Would that happen? Probably not, but I think that'd be awesome.
Created the fate system specifically for when the Traveler comes back to Heavenly Principles, created the fate system specifically for when the Traveler comes back to Teyvat and planted Paimon in that exact same spot so the Traveler can meet Paimon, and Paimon can take the Traveler to all 7 nations, and eventually Celestia, where the Traveler can then heal their AI construct. What happens?
Yes. I really like that idea. Now, again...
God, why does this remind me of the whole... I think, what's the Cal Blue Hair theory? I forgot what it was. Where they said that, like, Nouvelet, even though he doesn't have a destined fate... everyone else's destined fate helped determine his fate and all that stuff, and it was like predestined like ages ago, like, and there's, oh my god, like that, bro, that shit was wild. That I don't know why that part just reminded me of that.
And I don't want to keep asking.
It's like predestining everything hundreds to thousands to tens of thousands of years in like beforehand. It's fucking insane.
Too many questions here,
Actually
but
insane.
I'll just say what I like the idea of, and you can agree or disagree, I guess. I like the idea that the Traveler's not just purifying the abyssal energy, but he's absorbing the
Okay, by the way, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I heard that from Bran. I'm pretty sure I probably heard it from Bran.
energy, right?
To be
Which
honest.
also means if he can eventually, or is already purifying forbidden knowledge, that he's also absorbing forbidden knowledge. Which kind of goes hand in hand with what I was thinking before, which is, I think that is our end goal right now. I do think we have to go purify things and fix this current version of Teyvat. However, if the Fatui get their way and this works and the Irminsul tree is burned and everything, if they really do burn the old world and start like a new world order, for lack of a better term, I like the idea that the Traveler would then use the Loom of Fate, for lack of a better term. I like the idea that the Traveler would then use the Loom of Fate to basically reweave Fate as a new planet, basically. Like, not Teyvat, or at least in a different bubble. Like, this Teyvat would exist then, permanently, just under Fatui rule or whatever. And, I like the idea that, and this is definitely the most crack theory I've had, where, again, Teyvat is indeed an arc, technically. And we create a whole new world with all of the stuff that we've gathered on our journey. I think we still have a branch from Nahida even, right? Or something.
Yeah, we do, actually.
Be used as to grow a freaking Irminsul-esque thing.
Like the Archon gift.
But not just that, obviously.
I think you
we've learned a lot on our journey, which we could then use to basically recreate an entire new planet. Give the Abyss their own world so they can stop hating. True. I agree. I say
and then they could get their own abyssal... their own enemy from the Undestined Fates.
Bro, let's just join them. But no, I like the idea. I like the idea that the new world that we create could indeed be the Field of Flowers and stuff. I like to go back in my mind and think that maybe Paimon
Hey, it looks like it's working pretty well for Totoro, so I don't know.
could indeed become the new, like, welcome moon for our planet, right? The rainbow balloon with a string that extends beyond the firmament, meaning that she is anchored to a different planet, not Teyvat, which could be our future planet, because the Melazini see the truth. I don't know. Like, that's the sort of stuff that I like to think about that is pure crack theories. And I mean, like, pure crack theories. There's obviously a lot more well-grounded theories like this, but I love the odd crack theory, bro, and I love to make them like actual hardcore crack theories.
After that, I couldn't tell you. Now, the reason that I say that Aloy is the most important character of this game, drumroll please. If any of you guys played Horizon Zero Dawn, you guys might know this, but that is what I just explained to you. That is the plot of Horizon Zero Dawn. I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn in ages, and I never played its sequel. I haven't played its sequel yet, but I'll give you the abridged version. So long story short, in Horizon Zero Dawn, there are these robots that got hacked, and these robots were able to basically self-fuel, self-function, self-repair, and they eventually became this unstoppable mechanical, like, nightmare that was slowly causing the extinction of all life on Earth. So a group of scientists were like, hey, we can't stop this threat, so everyone's gonna die. However, we can create this super AI computer that will be able to solve the problem hundreds of years from now. If we create the right parameters, if we create the right system for this AI construct to be able to save humanity, we'll die, but our efforts will lead towards a future where humanity is saved and we don't go extinct.
He's right.
I built a website overnight.
God. Okay, sorry, my computer crashed. I'm not sure how much got cut out. So we'll just go back a little bit. I pretty much ended it off with it seems like these like machines are like the Abyss could be in place of those, right? The Abyss or Forbidden Knowledge could be in place of those.
Self-fuel, self-function, self-repair, and they eventually became this unstoppable mechanical, like, nightmare that was slowly causing the extinction of all life on Earth. So a group of scientists were like, hey, we can't stop this threat, so everyone's gonna die.
It's always ads that crash.
We can create this
super
AI computer that will be able to solve the problem hundreds of years from now. If we create the right parameters, if we create the right system for this AI construct to be able to save humanity, we'll die, but our efforts
when did Horizon Zero come out?
Future where humanity is saved and we don't go extinct.
When did it come out?
He's right. He's right. I'm sure he's going to say more about this, but this isn't just Ether that's going to be important. It's the fact that they're also named after certain
Ether,
deities and or
I haven't realized. Yeah.
We'll see.
Woman, Elizabeth Sobek, created the Gaia AI,
He's
which was
actually
basically an AI
I know
that
Ethan's
had
like
a
an
bunch
actual
of
thing,
sub-functions. And all of these sub-functions were utilized to find like a trial and error system of like finding the best scenarios and the best situations where they can provide sustainability for the planet. They could regroup and recreate humanity from the ground up. And if there were any issues, they could like reset everything and start over again to eventually hack into this giant
Samsara
machine army and delete them and then save humanity at the same time. Think about it this way. The Gaia AI from Horizon Zero Dawn is the Heavenly Principles. The sub-functions of Gaia in Horizon Zero Dawn are the shades. Apollo, Hephaestus, Aether, all of these Greek and inspired sub-functions. And then you have Nibirius, Renova, Istaroth, Asmodee, who are sub-functions to this overarching AI as well. You have Elizabeth Sobek, this person that started the project hundreds of years ago, but she created a clone of herself that eventually became the main character Aloy in the game, and Aloy went on that journey similar to the Traveler to understand.
Dude, holy shit. If they listen, Hoyo cooked for years upon years upon years. If they actually like fully intentionally did this collab because it mirrors the story so well,
True. Oh my god.
I'm gonna be so fucking surprised. You'll have no idea. You'll have no.
That actually
fucking
crazy.
Discover the origins of
They
her
just
creation,
teased that
the purpose of her
a
creation,
year into the game,
and that ultimately she was the one that had to save the AI program. She had to save Gaia the same way Aether has to save the Heavenly Principles. And so I literally think that's what's going to happen. And Aloy was the best character for, and I think Hoyoverse did that intentionally. I think Hoyoverse,
I guess,
literally,
so you said that, I guess,
Aloy into the game because her plot is a parallel of Genshin.
Okay.
I mean, she still gets birthday notes. The thing is, they haven't forgotten about her at all because they still think about Aloy because she gets birthday letters on her birthday and stuff like that. So it's like she's still present. She's still in the world technically as well. I'm pretty sure her latest one, she was like with some people into that.
Okay, they could have made her fucking better though. Surely. Right? They could have done something else with this motherfucker. Or at least give her fucking constellation.
It's just, you know, Tevat seems more of like a digital framework world because the Heavenly Principles is a computer, and so the best world they can create.
This is actually insane if they collabed with them just for this.
And so
Holy
that's
fuck.
my theory. That's the
Okay, dead ass though. Okay, you cooked. You cooked. That is
Yeah,
a
he
really
cooked.
interesting theory. I cannot lie. I'm gonna let you cook for the next 10 minutes of the
theory that
video.
I've been cooking in my brain for the last 6 months, ever since Act 8 of the Archon Quest.
Wild.
I think
Is that 6 months?
Aloy
No
was
way.
the earliest sign of that. I think Aether's entire journey isn't
I think it
about
was, actually.
finding their sibling. Actually, it might be. And I think Lumine knows. But Lumine, I don't think Lumine can purify the Heavenly Principles, which is why she needs Aether to go on this journey.
Oh,
Lumine
okay.
also knows. I mean, she said herself, right? If I'm not remembering incorrectly here from We Will Be Reunited, she's already been through this journey. We have to go through it ourselves to learn the truth of the world.
And come to the conclusion himself. But at the same time, if you remember, in the A Space and Time for You Archon Quest, Aether's crashing out. He's like, Lumine, why are we doing this? What does
she's
any
like,
of this
it's
have
always
to do
about
with
us. Yeah.
It's always been about us, baby. It's always been us.
And she says, it has everything to do with us.
なぜかわからないけど、ホタル
Yeah.
の言ってることはどこか他人事みたいだ。
Always been. Me and Min spoke about this at length in one of our videos.
Yeah,
as well.
that's where I thought it. Yeah.
Because I brought this up.
That's why it came
I
to
rewatched
mind.
it and I was like, it makes so much fucking
俺た
sense
ちにとっ
now.
て意味のあるものなのか。
It's always been about us.
Vibe coders.
Bro, if
Ready
my
to
computer
build
crashes, oh my god, bro.
more? Meet
Just
Base
stop giving me
44.
stupid ads.
Oh, it's only ever been about us, I think she says, specifically.
最初
Oh
か
my
ら
god, look at that.
全部私とお
Yeah,
兄
it's
ちゃん
only
だけの
ever been
問題
about us. God damn! God damn!
Luma Fate!
お兄ちゃん
Imagine the Luma Fate here is actually created just using the two siblings' DNA somehow, and that's why there's two of them and it looks like a scroll. That'd
Oh,
be
and this looks
weird,
like
right?
DNA a little bit.
終点で
Well, actually, no, it doesn't.
二人の新たな始まりが待ってる
It's our
the
spaceship
music.
AI that created this world in the first place, and they did it for us. So this is kind of our problem that we have to somehow fix. Now, I can't explain anything regarding, well, how does Lumine tie into this? Like, how does she connect with this? See, I'm only explaining where my mind is at right now.
Well, I think it's also, it's all you really can explain. At the end,
I still think, like, I feel like, do you guys think we've got to see Lumine in the 6.x patches? Okay, we technically have, but we haven't because it was the... Who was mimicking? I think it was the Abyss, right? No, it was Raria. Right, yeah, it was Raria, or the Wild Hunt, who was mimicking Lumine. So, we technically haven't actually seen Lumine yet. We've seen Dainsley, haven't seen Lumine. So do you think we're going to see Lumine in this 6, like, maybe not this patch, well, 6.6, but 6.7? Yeah, 6.7. And maybe we get to learn more about her connection with Asmodee? Because I feel like we need to at this point. Because we just got to, like, explain or told to us. So I think we need to, like, get a patch, a story dedicated to it. And I don't know if it's going to happen Luna 8 or not.
End of the day, there is a lot of crack theories you could definitely come up with for the Abyss sibling, Lumine. Again, I'm going to refer to her as. You can only come up with so much stuff because we have very bare minimum information on her. We really do have no idea why she's decided to do the majority of things she's done because she gives us nothing, Queen. She gives us nothing, and that
she wants us to go on our own journey.
They don't want us to know. They want that to be a grand reveal, just like the Dotori stuff. Abso-fucking-lutely. And it will blow our minds, probably, because every time we get a little bit of information, it already does blow our minds. They are feeding us scraps, 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 crumbs, crumbs. You ever seen Family Guy, where they lure that guy into a fucking box with bits of candy, and he's like, ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. That's us with any
And then at the end, it's all crumbs, and then at the very end, a 10-course meal.
The sibling lore, and then when we get trapped in the box, we're like, whoa, she's alive, like some weird shit.
In regards to the Traveler, I can't go any further than that. I literally think that's what the whole journey is about. I think the Heavenly Principles just did the best they could with the situation that they had. They didn't do it the best way because they don't have emotions.
Yeah.
They only have logic and rational thinking. And
that's genuinely my favorite part about your entire theory, that Paimon is the idea association module and she is the emotion that was separated from the AI, and that's why they did what they did. My only question will be, why they do that? Like, why did they decide, fuck the emotion, bro? Send that shit down. But maybe you mentioned
because emotion can affect choices, like your choices and stuff. And maybe the Heavenly Principles didn't want emotional attachment to Khaenri'ah being destroyed. So it's like, and didn't want to hesitate, which could destroy the whole world. So, because if the Heavenly Principle had emotion at the time, they could have hesitated, stuff like that. And not destroy Khaenri'ah in time or something like that. So if they had no logic, they could just make the choice without risking anything, without risking like procrastination or stuff like that, right? I don't know, but I don't know.
Earlier when I got to go back and rewatch.
And facts and logic, and that's about it. And you know, when you have a ruler that thinks like that, they pretty much like empathy and the suffering of others is not even at the top of their mind, especially when you consider how they're treating Nahida in this whole situation with her in particular.
It makes decision making easy, yeah, but since it had the idea association module attached, right? Because I agree with you, it does. But since they had that attached, would the idea association module not be fighting that and being like, don't disconnect me, things will go bad, you know? Would it not be trying to convince, like, maybe it was a war within itself to detach it. You're right, it definitely could be.
That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. That is the Genshin Impact theory. That is my I know how Genshin Impact is going to end.
I mean, sure it is.
And here's the ultimate revelation. I think the game will end when Paimon and the Heavenly Principles
merge.
You think she is the emergency food still?
Emerge. Emergency, merge. Oh, what the fuck is that?
Maybe even the shades too, because the shades were.
Emergency food would make sense, by the way. Plug her back in, everything's fixed.
Plug her back in.
They were shining shades of the Heavenly Principles. Plug her back in. So similar to how all of
No, I mean, yeah, right? Technically would still be a form of emergency food.
The AI constructs of Gaia.
Bro, I wonder what the merge is gonna look like if they do it. That'd be crazy. We'd be like, grab her by the head and go, freaking suck it through her hand. I don't know. Or would I actually eat her like grill her like a freaking piece of rotisserie chicken, bro. Have it spinning. Oh, fucking hell. Jesus Christ. They waited tens of thousands of years for this one delicacy. I just stopped.
To work in tandem to come to a solution. I think Daughter, or rather, I think Nibirius, Asmodee, Renova, Istaroth, and Paimon, who all came from the Heavenly Principles, will have to return to the Heavenly Principles. Which
no, not by Renova, by Nibirius.
When we will have to say
by
goodbye
Asmodee
to
and Istaroth.
That is why they're constantly mentioning...
I want it to be playable.
Well, actually, when you think...
What if this is like... she has an ulterior motive here. She's like sucking out the Traveler's power. Like a vampire. But like through through touching instead of through biting. What if she's just sucking away her power, his power right now? Who knows, man? Who knows? Trying to get stronger. Hey, Paimon's sus, so who knows?
Think about it. If they go back to the AI and the AI
does his power look dimmer here? No, I'm joking.
Is like fixed up and is back in the spaceship.
This still does look like a bear to me.
Think about it.
Looks like a bear.
Paimon has always been with us. Actually, I just thought of that. If this is actually true, and if Paimon is a part of the Heavenly Principles, then like Paimon is never... We've always been with Paimon.
What do you think of Barbeloth's fate scrying on Paimon when Paimon asked her directly?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that Endurance Quest.
Hold, and she basically goes, "Oh, child." Like, it's not looking fucking good, bro. Chill. And then it just cuts
I forgot about
that. What do you think she fucking told her, bro?
She was the spaceship AI.
And you get the friggin' things, like, the artworks. You get those fan artworks of Nahida looking into Paimon's mind. And then Paimon's like, shh. And Nahida's like horrified. I remember I saw that kind of recently. I saw it like ages ago, and I saw it again like semi recently. I don't know why that just came to mind.
She became her own thing into that. And we've been
with
her ever since.
Nahida can.
It's gonna feel like goodbye, but it's just goodbye in a different way. I also don't know if the Heavenly Principles are gonna survive and be reconstructed to be, or maybe they need Paimon. Maybe they need Paimon to be their true ideal self. Maybe they'll be a lot better of a ruler and a lot better of a god than what they are now if they...
I think so, and I think that is the emergency food situation. We got to plug her back in, bro.
Had some empathy and emotion on their side, and some, like, I don't know, give them
into
some
the
food
mouth
and some purpose, like Paimon. You know, like if they had a little bit more of Paimon's perspective, or maybe Paimon would be the replacement for the Heavenly Principles. I think that's a possibility too, because Paimon went to the academia.
She's smart enough.
She's getting smarter and
sure. I mean, she is getting
smarter as time goes.
Oh yeah, I guess she is technically getting smarter. Yeah, I do forget about that. She is technically getting smarter and smarter. But when she get to the smartness of being able to rule a fucking world, would you trust Paimon to rule the world? I mean, I guess it'd be a lot of food, so maybe. She might make it... Oh my god, she'll make it so you can eat as much food as you want and not get fat. Oh my god, no. No, we need Paimon as the ruler right now, bro.
Ooh,
oh my god.
A replacement. Because
we need her right
she's
now,
not
bro.
just an emotional module now. She's actually learning. She's learning reason. She's learning logic. Ooh. You think she could be the replacement? Do you think she could be the Nahida to Rukkhadevata? Oh, Paimon's going to be the Nahida to HP's Rukkhadevata. Yeah, do you... Oh, shit. Could she be reverse globifying? Instead of when a god uses like a majority of their power, they shrink to a smaller form. Could this smaller form, which was purely emotion, be learning throughout their journey to become a much bigger thing? Because there is
playable big Paimon?
Also things in the game and lines in the game where Paimon has said she's going to become like 3 times the size of 3 mountains. Could that be that she is going to grow as an entity into something way bigger, way stronger, way more important and
3 times the size
to the entire plot?
10 billion times the powerful.
I feel like if her logic reaches the level of the Heavenly Principles, it's almost like, I feel like she can almost replace them, and she can maintain Teyvat. She can maintain Teyvat because she's been on the journey.
Bro said we're doomed if she's the replacement.
She's seen how it's functioned, and maybe the Heavenly Principles isn't long for this world. The forbidden knowledge corruption is going to last for so long, and Aether has to get there and take control and reweave the threads of fate for the best possible outcome. And if we decide to leave this world, the world...
Is that how they're doing it? Oh, shit. I must have forgot about that.
We'll need a new ruler if the Heavenly Principles are gone. And I think Paimon would be the next best option, especially if she is a part of the Heavenly Principles.
Travelers as bro.
So, yeah, I wasn't planning on divulging my long-awaited big brain theory, but that is how I think Genshin Impact is going to end. If I'm wrong, well, then I think I came up with a pretty substantial theory that
look
would
at his
be
face,
a cool
dude.
alternative.
Look at his
but,
face. It's like he said in chat about 5
happy.
minutes ago. He was like, what did you say?
He's proud.
Like, this is a crack theory, and this is just for fun. But if I'm right, I cooked. Like, if I'm right, it was intentional.
yeah, I spoiled the whole game. I'm sorry. Yeah,
if I'm right,
I
I
think
called
at the end
it.
of the game, maybe the Heavenly Principles or Paimon will use Aether's memories and all of the things he's witnessed and experienced to recreate to that from the perspective of the Traveler. So, or even the Traveler. Like, I think the whole point of the Heavenly Principles was like, we want to terraform this world so that way Aether and Lumine can rule it. And maybe Aether just needs to get the freaking admin password and seize control of the world and then...
And maybe also... having the siblings go through the world, they can see like what they like. The Heavenly Principles to be able to see what tailors to them the best if they actually live in it. I don't know.
Create it in his image or Lumine.
Oh, I like how we're actually.
Because you can only tailor something to someone if you see how it affects them and see how they experience it. Right?
In page about that, yeah. But when you say recreate, do you mean like this specific planet? Like, do you think we're gonna recreate Teyvat right here where it is using the Loom of Fate, or do you think we're gonna make a new planet in the vast galaxy somewhere? I guess if we go based off what the Heavenly Principles said in the past, right? This is the perfect prime location and perfect prime planet anyway, so why not take advantage of it? But then what about the people that already exist on it and the places that already exist on it at the same time? You never considered a new world? I really like the idea of a totally new world. And the main reason is that one Melazine that's like Paimon is a freaking rainbow balloon with a string that extends beyond the firmament. Because I really like to think she is the anchor to the new world that we are going to create in the future. But there's a few other reasons for it. I'm sure there's probably a lot of reasons why we couldn't do that, but I just really like the idea of saying this world is too far fucking gone. The whole Teyvat is an arc theory being true, and us taking the Allergenes and other humans to a new place, or at least all the people that we could.
And it'd just be a
things like
bitch
the Fontaine Arc Conquest kind of precursoring that with the arc, saving people from Fontaine as well. But we'll see. It could be a lot of different things.
In her image, depending on which Traveler you have. Yeah, I'm really sorry for going off on a tangent like that. But
Tangents are
I suck
fun,
at
man.
writing scripts, and I think this was the best way for me to get my thoughts out and share them with you guys. Because
why is Purge just there bonking at each other?
Really, like, I couldn't find a better way to talk about that. Like, I couldn't script that out. The best way I can talk about it is if I have an audience, I can talk until the cows come home. It's already 10:30 my time.
You have cows? They're expensive.
Yeah, this will be its own dedicated video, and
lot of room.
make it a big deal, and I hope that I'm right. And I've been thinking about this for the last 6 months, and this will be a follow-up to the previous video, like I said. And all of that because the Heavenly Principles is like, yeah, Sumeru, sorry, bud, nothing... Of that because,
I didn't realize it wasn't where
the
his
Heavenly
headphones.
Principles is like, yeah, Sumeru, sorry, bud, nothing personal. I abandon all my nations, so it just seems like you're next. If the world's not at risk, then that's got nothing to do with me, Chief. And
God.
You know,
Protect your nation better,
I don't know if
God damn.
Horizon Forbidden West like adds on to this even more, but this is just all from my perspective of playing Horizon Zero Dawn because I
Can't believe this started from a fucking Aloy theory.
haven't played Forbidden West, and I played Horizon Zero Dawn when it first came out on the PS4, so my memory is a little fuzzy. But like
shaky.
Aloy was the first.
Okay, so it
character
came
that I
out
thought
ages
of.
ago.
I was like, wait, I've
Came out like
experienced
7,
this
8,
before.
9 years
Holy
ago.
shit! How is no one talking about this? I have to tell everyone. It's
I never put 2 and 2 together with that. Genuinely, I never did. And I'm kind of
I
mad
just thought
that I
Aloy.
didn't, 'cause
I always thought Aloy was just the most random ass shit. It's like I didn't. Yeah.
play Zero Dawn all the way through to the end. And I also never played Forbidden West.
Aloy from Genshin Impact, actually. So yeah, those are my thoughts. Those are my theories. I hope it comes true. If it is, you heard it here first. I will not be surprised. And I wanted to get this out.
Now, don't get it twisted, chat. When he says Aloy is the most important character, I'm assuming, I don't think what he's saying is she's most important to the current story.
Yeah.
But she's important to us as players.
She's important because of, like, where she came from, like, the story she technically came from, and the reason she's in the game in the first place. The actual reason they bring her into the game in the first place is the idea, not actually her.
She's important for our understanding of the story if it is a direct parallel to what happened in Horizon Zero Dawn. I just don't want people being like, well, she's not, just because she fucking did the same shit doesn't mean she's gonna do it and take that or some
Bro, it'd be so funny if she becomes part of the main story. Oh, that'd be so fucking funny.
Stupid shit. I know people...
Because she is technically still into that doing shit, so...
Annoying with semantics.
Before we get any more lore,
technically
Luna
is
7
still
is
into
not
that.
out yet. We just got the Luna 7 special program today. It is May 8th, 2026, 10:30 a.m. So people don't come out the woodwork and is like, he looked at leaks. He knew about this. How does he know? You're not smart enough to know this. You had to look at leaks to know the truth of the game years before it ended, damn it. So I wanted to get ahead of all of that nonsense.
It's not even leaks, bro. You're just employed.
Just to prove I have receipts. And so everyone knows when, when or if this happens. I'm not a ghostwriter.
I saw that far. Not a ghostwriter. Yeah, sure, buddy.
Damn it.
Sure.
So
You'll tell
I
us
wanted
anything.
to get ahead of all of that nonsense. Just to prove I have receipts. And so everyone knows.
Yeah, you'll tell. I see this. Right, look, clock calculator, LinkedIn. You know what he goes on LinkedIn for? To update his references because he's a ghostwriter at ALOY'S. See this file down here? 623456. If you put that into coding and translate it in this file right here, it is actually the entire script of Genshin Impact from day 1.
What?
3.0.
No.
When or if this happens.
No, like actually? Oh my god. I need to check that, man. I need to double check.
Entire script of Genshin Impact.
What?
Through to 8.0.
Insane. Only 8.0? Wait, so is the story after 8.0 going to be shit then? Oh, that's sad. No.
If this happens. I'm
Well,
not
after
a ghostwriter,
8.1,
by the
bro.
way.
Fooling me.
Arnold's just too big brain. I'm only big brain in two things. Ruby and Genshin Impact. Like, I'm like three-head with everything else in life. Somebody was like, man, Arnold, how do you remember so much lore about Genshin? It's like, because I don't know anything else. You know that episode of SpongeBob? It's like he only knows fine dining.
I love having friends for dinner, but I don't love the cost. So I'm just going to spend less on...
Okay, sure.
And breathing. It's like, I only know Genshin, Ruby, and breathing. That's... I don't even remember my name half the time. Yeah, I attribute it to having very questionable priorities in life. I couldn't tell you anything about my country's lore, but I'll yap your ear off about lore from a fictional video game that I've been playing for 6.5 years. I can tell you everything, everyone, their backstory, their lore, where they come from, their favorite snack, what they're afraid of, everything. I don't.
Do you know what Lisa's afraid of? Working? No, pumpkins. Genuine.
Oh,
fucking clue, dude. I had it in a quiz. I thought Duck was making it the fuck up, bro. She's scared of pumpkins. The witch scared of pumpkins?
Oh, man. You know what's funny about that too? I was built in the Ruby mine.
That's me some lore behind that.
I attribute my ability to break down, analyze, remember, connect all facets of lore from Ruby. Because Ruby was like a homework show. I know that's...
I actually thought Ruby was the, like, red and blue Master Chief looking ass characters from Rooster Teeth. I think it was Rooster Teeth anyway, or Achievement Hunter. That was red versus blue. I really did for the longest time.
Sounds like, oh god, that sounds horrible to some people. But, like, Ruby gave a lot of references and inspirations to, like, fairy tales and works of fiction and references and stuff. So one of the fun parts about Ruby, a cool way to understand the show was to understand the inspirations behind the show. So, like, whenever you got a new character, everyone was like, okay, who's this character inspired by? Oh, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, Snow White, Little Red Riding Hood, Beauty and the Beast, and it was like a meta game within the show.
Okay,
so I feel like Genshin
similar with
is
Genshin.
Almost like that too. Like, I don't play it like a meta game. I treat my research and how I like interpret the lore like how I did with Ruby back then. So like, yeah, Ruby like prepared me for Genshin, unbeknownst to me at the time, which is hilarious. Heavenly Principles, they're just like, you know what? If you don't kill the planet, I don't really have a problem with what you're doing. I'll throw
a couple of nations here or there. Fuck it, bro.
Down some divine nails. You guys will be. That's crazy. I'll throw down some divine nails. 'Tis but a flesh wound. You'll be fine. All right. the world will heal. The world will move on. Sure, you might lose
God, I
some
cannot wait
gods
till you use
and
the
some
seventh one.
lovable characters and a beautiful nation and all the gorgeous music that you listen to while you go through that nation. Your shroom buddies might get killed. Yeah, the desert's already fucked, but you know, I gave up on that ages ago. You know, all of that might be gone. We still got everything else. So like in the end, it's you know, it's kind of worth it. You know, that's how the Heavenly Principles is kind of moving these days, which is insane. And you know what the craziest thing is? They don't even realize. You realize your freaking dirty laundry is gonna be aired out for the entire world to see if this tree gets destroyed, right? You know that before.
True. This is what a lot of people don't understand, bro. A lot of people do not understand this. There is, listen, we only know of a few things that have been obfuscated by Irminsul. We only know of a few things. What about all the stuff that happened before we lost our fucking memories, bro? What about all the shit that happened way back when? What about the stuff that these motherfuckers hid from everybody? I guarantee you the Hexen Circle have probably hid some fucked up shit. I guarantee you the Shades have hid some fucked up shit. And I guarantee you the fucking Archons have hid some fucked up shit.
Oh yeah, just
there is going to be
it.
so much that comes to light if this thing actually burns. It's going to be crazy.
Oh, is it because like all the information would be like released? I guess you could say. So is that what that means?
That Orobashi got killed for reading? That's gonna be peanuts compared to this tree. If this tree gets nuked and like the truth of this world is revealed, like you're gonna have an army, an angry mob at your doorstep. If that's what happens, if the world
just cast out dead one day once again.
World gets factory reset. I don't even know what that's gonna mean for this world, because if it gets factory reset, I'm like, we're
gonna find out the Fatui started hantavirus or something.
Is the light realm energy gonna move in and destroy all the freaking people?
Cast it through the screen,
with that energy. It's a lot, man. It's a whole big mess. I mean, again, this is nothing new with the Heavenly Principles. It just sucks that like Nahida's like, we're on our own, guys. The Heavenly.
Did you notice that she's looking a bit wilted as well? By the way, I said this before, but in the trailer, her leaf is looking mighty.
I do want to say, I checked her design the other day. Her leaf is always like that. I do want to say, unless they updated the design to match the current events. If you have the heater and you look at the leaf on her design right now in game, her leaf is like that. Her leaf is half yellow, half dark green. If they changed that recently to, if they changed that like on the 7th or 8th of May, just for the sake of this whole preparing for the next story, maybe they did that. But when you check in game right now, her leaf is like that, which is interesting.
Trustless
colors. I don't know.
It's looking like it's dying. Oh, great
I
video.
I don't know, though. I don't know.
Principles doesn't give a shit about us.
Gotta give it that extra 2 seconds of watch time. Great video. Holy chat. Absolutely amazing video. Holy goddamn. As much as I love watching multiple different theory crafters like Ashikai and stuff that pull from real world inspirations and stuff, my favorite type of Genshin Impact theory content is when a theory begins and ends all within the confines of the game with everything in between, where we don't pull from random stuff that happened in a different game. The Aloy stuff's different because she's actually in Genshin, and that was the funnest, like, little segment of the theory. I just prefer it when everything is centralized to the game itself, and I don't need to think about real life stuff. I can just think about the game.
To be honest, because for me, I do not understand what the fuck what Ashikai talks about most of the time with, like, real life stuff and ancient history, the ancient history of, like, the Chinese, the freaking other countries. Like, I do not understand what the fuck she's talking about, I'll be honest. I never do. But, I mean, if it's in the game, then I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh yeah, this. And oh yeah, that. Okay, interesting, yeah.
Even what's happened so far.
I understand it better. So like, I understand the theories way better, yeah, if it is. That's why I've kind of stopped watching Ashikai videos. It's because I just can't understand what's going on. So, watching, like, theories like this, where it's, like, things I do understand and things that actually happen in the game. What is this? Holy fucking long! Jesus Christ, it doesn't say name, bro. God, drugs are insane. By the way, I mean drugs, like, obviously, legal drugs. Okay, legal drugs. Behind the counter prescription stuff. I'm guessing that's probably what it is. But yeah, I think stuff that because I feel like I understand things in the game a lot more, so it's a lot funner for me to react to.
And I really appreciate those theories a lot because they're much easier for me to digest personally.
Oh yeah.
So I really
a lot easier to understand. Yeah. And, I agree. 100% agree.
YouTube. leave a comment if you would like to possibly see Murder of Birds in one of the lore chats with me and Min.
Bro, I'll be awesome.
Aloy chat? Hell no.
I don't think he has Aloy, does he? I don't think he even does. Hey, if I had Aloy, I'll probably try, but I don't. Sadly, I feel like they should give us Aloy. Oh, that'd be nice. But yeah, hopefully Evan did enjoy. Sorry for my computer crashing halfway through. Yeah. But yeah, that was actually insane. Obviously, this video is like, I actually don't know how long this video is. I didn't really pause. I didn't want to pause because of how long it was. So if it's like a video this long, like a 50-minute video, an hour-long video, I don't really want to pause that much. Like as you saw, I was kind of talking over the top a little bit. If it's like a 20 to half an hour video, I will pause. But yeah, it's just I just don't feel like having it go for like an hour and a half. I mean, I could do that, but it's like I don't really want to. But yeah, hopefully Evan did enjoy. Great fucking video. Yeah, I mean, oh my god, Ether. The whole journey is going to lead to him purifying the heavenly principles and it all being the Horizon Zero story. It's kind of crazy. I was like, how the fuck is this going to all tie into freaking Aloy? So I'm like, bro, I forgot this theory was fucking about Aloy. I was like, okay, that makes sense. Alright, that's actually kind of crazy. I never played Horizon, so I don't know. But, I mean, if that's the story, that's kind of crazy. But, yeah, I guess we'll see everyone in the next one. Peace.